1.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hello, I am Rev Kathy Kiuna, and I am delighted to announce that Woman Without Limits is back on NTV from 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. every Sunday. You don't want to miss this. You'll be impacted, you'll be transformed, you'll be revolutionized. Your life will never be the same again. And I want you to know that it is here to alter your destinies. I have said it before, I say it again. You're the only one who can stop yourself. So get out of your own way and become that woman without limits. Teaching is in the nature of a man. And that's why a man will always tell the woman what to do, how to do it. The teacher wants to be understood very well, and for the students to execute what the teacher has said. And this is the same thing when it comes to men. Men are teachers, and they want to teach their wives so many things that can actually elevate you a lot. A woman is very, very relational. And you need to understand that she's born like that, very relational. That's why you will find a little girl loving on a doll, marrying the doll with another doll, because she's just a natural. That's how we are born. We are born very relational. Successful relationships honor differences. I want you to understand, if your marriage is going to be successful, then honor the differences that you have with your spouse. Because I'll tell you something, my husband and I are complete opposites. He's very introverted, I'm very extroverted. I love people and I'm forever out there talking, loving on people. That's who I am. I am a sanguine and I am extroverted and I'm a people person. And that's not to say that an introverted people does not love people. No. It's to say that they are quiet, they're just more reserved. Do you understand me? And at the end of the day, you must understand that you need each other. Listen, can you imagine if we were all the same? Life would be so boring. I love that my husband is a quiet man. He loves that I'm talkative because I cover him, he covers me. We cover each other. So honor your differences. That will make you love each other, go deeper, glean from each other, get very, very amazing stuff out of each other. And guess what? When you learn those differences and you learn to honor them, frustration is turned around into a joyful, amazing relationship. In fact, you become curious. You want to know more. Why does he love what he loves? And why does she do what she does? You become curious. And guess what? As a result, creativity is birthed. Because you're like, wow, you want to know why your spouse is the way they are. When you become curious and you want to know why they do the things they do, they become so interested in you. And as a result, guess what? You begin to really get glean, like I said, very powerful substance from each other, because you see in a way you couldn't see before. You are now using two heads to see one thing. So this one is seeing it this way. You're seeing it in another way. Guess what? You get the bull by the horns and you're always a winner. So honor the differences you have. Don't trash them and fight about the differences. That's your spouse. That's the way they are. Understand them. How do you do that? If you honor, you will dig deeper. You see, when you honor somebody, you begin to not be familiar with them, but you will familiarize yourself and understand why they do what they do. And as a result, you become a winner all the way. Guess what? I say it again. I cannot exchange my husband for one talkative person. I love the fact that he's quiet. In fact, he lends me some words, so at least I can even talk more. And guess what? You cover up for one another. Differences make couples thrive. But you have to see them, acknowledge them. Like, for instance, your spouse may like a particular game. You don't like it at all. You don't even want to know about it. But can you imagine if you just developed an interest to want to know why he likes what he likes, or vice versa? Guess what? You can be so surprised that you'd even probably love that thing more than your spouse. And you are fighting it, you are refusing it, you didn't want to see it. And that was me when it came to golf. My husband went for golf. I actually felt like it was an affair because we were always together. It was just me and him hanging out. Then now suddenly it's golf. I felt like it came to steal. I was saying it's a, it's a thug. It came to steal our relationship until I understood. And 6 years later, I agreed to join him. 6 years. 6 years. I was asking him, why couldn't you put your foot down and just become the head of the home and say you are playing? By fire, by force. However, there's always time for everything. 6 years later, I joined. And guess what? I totally, completely, absolutely fell in love with it. I am actually now more in love with it than him. I'm just telling you that when you become curious, when you honor your differences, you'll be surprised that you will get so much from your spouse that you were probably trashing before. Now, I enjoy what I could never touch before. Could it be that you're covering yourself or messing your own self by refusing to do something that he does or she does that you have never understood? Could it be? How about if you try and join it? Your differences make you powerful. I tell you the truth. That, in fact, that's where your power lies. It lies in your differences. Because you see things in a different angle, and as a result, you become more powerful, more energized by just looking at it from different angles. Two are better than one. That's what the Bible says. And so I want you to understand that when you get curious, you begin to learn more. Men are planners. Men are planners. Women are spontaneous most of the time. And so men want to plan. Why don't you get curious and ask him, why do you like to plan? Instead of fighting, you always, everything I say, you contradict it, you counteract it, you're always fighting me. I never say anything and you agree. Instead, why don't you sit back and ask him, honey, please explain to me why it is that you love planning and really taking your time to make, to me, a very simple decision. Why do you take so long? Because men and women are different. A woman will want to be spontaneous. Me, I want to wake up and we go to Mombasa now. He wants to be like, wait, how are we going? Who's paying? And, a whole list of issues that I had never looked at. But I've learned to wear his shoes and look at things from his perspective. And he has also learned to wear mine. So sometimes we will do that Mombasa spontaneously. And sometimes we will wait and plan slowly but surely. So instead of fighting, make your differences work for your good. As a result, let me tell you, you will enjoy that marriage. It will be one of the, because marriage is actually the best thing that can ever happen to a human being. It's the best. You know why? Because God gives you family through that marriage. He gives you a family. And let me tell you, at the end of the day, when push comes to shove, family is all you have. I'm telling you. So it's a beautiful thing. It's an amazing thing. So when you're in it, stop fighting it. You can't be in the marriage and you're forever fighting it. And then you come out and start praying for marriage. So it's like, come on, what's going on here? You need to ask God to really guide you, help you to see that the differences are not there to kill you. They are there to mend you, to make you. So get curious, begin to ask questions, and you'll be surprised at how much you will learn just by asking a question. So why are we planning? Because. And why are we being spontaneous? Because. And as a result, guess what? You become more empowered. So differences are powerful. And then I want you to know, research actually tells us that marriages that thrive because of knowing how to handle the differences. I'm telling you, you can only thrive when you know how to handle your differences. Don't get upset that your wife is talkative. And wife, stop getting upset that your husband is quiet. No. Don't get upset at each other because of your differences. That will frustrate you and probably cause you to split up. And that's the plan of the wicked one, for you to split up and because of differences. No. God has sent me to tell you, it is possible for you to really thrive if you can allow your differences to actually become your strengths. Are we together? So both parties should give something. Listen, marriage and our differences are about compromise. Yeah. You can never enjoy a beautiful marriage without compromise. Let me say it again. You cannot enjoy a beautiful marriage without compromise. You have to sometimes compromise what you like for the sake and the safety and the healing and the thriving of your marriage. Sometimes you have to just compromise so that you can be able to move on. Do you understand me? You have to give up something sometimes. It doesn't have to be always your way or the highway. You're not married to yourself. You're married to a human being that is different from you. Understand that sometimes you will need to compromise. You know, I see some people, it's just your way or the highway. It shouldn't work like that, because you'll bring in frustration and anger, and then there'll be resentment and bitterness because you just cannot allow the other party to say a thing. That's not correct. Both of you are in this relationship as grown-ups. So you must get each other's differences, understand them, and then see how best you can work together. So compromise is a must in marriage. You must compromise. Sometimes you want to do something. Like, for instance, I love driving. And I've said this before in one of my wisdom nuggets. I love driving. Just sitting in the car. You don't even have to take me anywhere. Just take me nowhere and we go. It doesn't have to be, oh, we are going to a particular place. We don't have to have any particular destination. Just let's go into the car and drive. And then you drive back home and I'll be fine. That's not my husband. But hey, sometimes he will get into that car, we will drive, we'll go talking, laughing, enjoying. By the time I get home, no wahala. There is no wahala. Anything, baby, anything you want, I'm here. You know, because he has entered into my space and allowed me to enjoy me. He has compromised. Sometimes I compromise. We watch things. My husband can watch any level of sports. We watch even cricket. God will have mercy. Cricket. Who watches cricket? Because, because my husband loves it. Sometimes I'll find myself watching cricket. That's a game I've never understood till tomorrow. I've never understood it. But I'm there, yes. You know? Why? Because you have to compromise in marriage. It can't be that we are forever going for drives and rides, and yet I can't watch something with him that he loves and enjoys. And so, understand each other's differences, work with each other, and you'll be surprised. When you're on each other's side, you're on the same page. And guess what? You don't have to agree. You don't. Sometimes you can agree to disagree, but that should not make you enemies. You can agree to disagree. You are seeing red, he's seeing white. You know what? It's fine. You can agree to disagree, but that doesn't mean like now you have brought Kosovo to your house, Beirut. There is just war. The World War III has broken out in your own house. Because of what? Colors. You can agree to disagree and it's fine. You can still eat. Sit and eat and laugh because there are other things to laugh about. Forget about what you've disagreed about. And maybe sometime in the future, you might just agree. Or keep it like that and it's fine on that one particular thing. Don't allow one thing to make a mess of everything else. You are angry at the children now. You want to kill your children and they were not even involved with your mess, with your argument, the children are not there. Now they have become the target. They come from school like this. Oh, you are looking at what? Seriously, your children. Leave it. Understand each other's differences. And that's going to, these are wisdom nuggets. Get them correctly and your life will never be the same again. A while ago, I wrote a beautiful book on celebrate yourself. And I've come to realize if you don't know how to celebrate yourself, nobody will celebrate you. If you don't know how to enjoy yourself as a single person, you will not enjoy yourself as a married person. You need to embrace you. The Bible says, love your neighbor as you love yourself. Meaning, you cannot love your neighbor if you don't love yourself. It's all about you first. If you love you, you can accommodate others. This book is going to bless you. It will show you how to celebrate yourself because you're all that and a bag of chips and a dip on the side. So compromise is a natural part of putting two distinct human beings together. It can be a celebration of our uniqueness, compromise. And as long as both partners are willing to make adjustments or give things up for the sake of bettering their relationship, it's all good. You give it up so that your relationship can be bettered. You fight for your relationship. Your differences, again, are things that can empower you. Encourage and guide your spouse to grow. Encourage and guide your spouse to grow. Again, I go back to my husband and I. My husband forever asks me, what are you reading? How are you growing? He pushes me, that man pushes me. Let me tell you something. We started church 23 years ago. I have been the worship leader of our church from the day we began church. I have not missed meetings for 23 years because my husband will not let me. My husband, he will not let me. He is always, honey, you got this. You've got to do this. You know, we can't go anywhere without you doing what you need to do. He will push me. And let me tell you, and he will push himself also to read and become better and to sow and to thrive. And so encourage one another to grow. Encourage one another to grow. You'll be surprised how that is so powerful. You can never force each other to change. You can't force your spouse to change. But you can encourage them to grow. Because see, you are both mature people. And at the end of the day, you have to make choices yourself. So your spouse may not force you. You've got to do this and you've got to do the other. But you have to understand that everything you do for each other is for the betterment of the relationship. And so I pose a question to you. What are you doing right now in your differences to better your relationship? What are you doing? It's a Selah moment. Sometimes you're fighting too much about something. Maybe you need to sit back, sip some coffee, and ask, does this fight have spoil? Is this fight taking me anywhere or it's just wasting my energy? Why am I fighting in the first place? Sometimes you need to pause as a couple and ask yourself those questions. And then you've worked and worked and worked and worked on a marriage. And then 15 years later, 20 years later, 30 even, you start walking out on each other. And when you look at why you're walking out, really, it's very little small things that can be sorted, should have been sorted long ago. Find what your differences are and see how you can work together, because God made us different in His wisdom. In His wisdom, He made us different for a purpose. If He knew that we would not be fulfilling a purpose, He would never have made us different. So listen, men are very logical beings. Can you imagine? Men are logical, okay? They think logically, so everything is logical. Women are emotional. Emotional. Women are very emotional. They can cry at nothing, and they can just tell you, I just felt like crying. I just felt that one, I needed to bring it out. Women are emotional. Can you imagine if life was one thing, full of just nothing but emotions? So we are all crying everywhere, men, women. We are just crying. That's all we are doing. We need logic. We need men to wake us up and ask, what is this now? You know, like, can we think about it logically? And also, can you imagine if it was just logic with no emotion? That everything we are just putting logic in it. Life would be one boring thing. It would never work. It would be just one, you don't even want to be in it. But God made us different for a purpose. So enjoy your differences. Love your differences. Embrace your differences. And you'll be surprised how you will be able to thrive in that very marriage. You don't need to change partners to enjoy. You can thrive in that very marriage. You can drive each other up the wall, down on the other side, and meet again and love again. You know, like, you see, the fights that we have in marriages, they actually make us mature. They make you grow. When you're fighting, you can't see it. Me, I'm telling you, as a woman that has fought and stood many times, many years, I want to let you know that that fight you're in right now, and I know I'm ministering to somebody, that fight you're in right now is not over. It's not to finish you. It's to make you. It's to build you. And at the end of the day, you will say, thank God you stayed. So stop packing all the time and running because your husband is different. Let me tell you something. The rib that God removed from the man, He removed it from his side, removed one rib. What did He do with that one rib? He made the woman with that one rib that He removed from the man. Now you women that are crying out that I want my husband to be like me, I want my husband to be like me, anything that could have been like you was removed. So he can't be like you. You are unique. He is unique. You need each other. And so enjoy each other's differences. Hello? So understand each other's differences. Then the other thing you need to note is that men are like filing cabinets while women are like computers. What do I mean? That when you tell a man something, he will take it, open the drawer, put it inside, close the drawer, leave it. You as a computer, you're working 24/7. You're wondering, why did he file it? Why did he keep it? Why is my husband not answering me according to what I asked? Why isn't my husband paying attention to what I desire? What's going on? And so you get so frustrated because he doesn't seem to be talking about what is so important to you. And you're wondering, what in the world? But a man will always file. And he'll file according to the urgency. So maybe what you said was not urgent at all, where he's concerned. And he'll put it not just in the drawer, but below other files, because there are other files inside. He's like a filing cabinet. So there are other files in the cabinet. You told him something 6 months ago, nothing has yet been done. He looks like he's not even caring the least bit about what you said. I want you to know It is the difference working here. Because a man will first work on solutions. He will think about what to do. And sometimes he actually doesn't have an answer. He doesn't know what to do. So he'll file it, not because he's ignoring you and he doesn't care about what you're saying, but because he doesn't have an answer for it right then. But guess what? After a while, he is going to be able to look at it and say, I remember what you told me about this and this and this, and these are the ways. These are the ways out. So we can do this and that and that and the other. So a man will file it because he wants to get a way out. A woman will be nagging him, I want it now, because she wants an answer immediately. But you must learn that difference and accommodate it, and then sit back and allow the Holy Spirit. I'll tell you, for my almost 30 years of marriage, I've discovered one thing, that there is nothing more powerful in marriage than prayer. I'm telling you. Sometimes you get so frustrated because you're looking for an answer, you're looking for a way out, and you're thinking things are going to go thick, it's going to go bad. Take it to God in prayer. I'm telling you, I know I'm ministering to somebody right now. Take it to God in prayer. In a short while, you will look back and say, thank God I prayed about it. There are many times I've taken issues to God in prayer because they're in the filing cabinet and they don't seem like coming out from there anytime soon. So I go to God and I just cry out to God and tell God, this needs to be done. I feel this and I feel that and the other. You'll be surprised. In a short while, the Holy Spirit himself will remind him. And in a short while, he will bring it and all things will work together for good. So instead of nagging and getting upset and as a computer, just go to God and that cabinet will be opened. Go to God. God will help you. And that's how to work on your differences. Don't fight about them. Pray about them and see God turning it around for you. So hear me today. Listen, I want you to understand that men and women are equal, but they are not the same. I'll say that again. Men and women are equal, but they are not the same. And the reason why God made us that way is so that we can be able to really help one another. Both of us need help from each other. And our differences are what really help us to stay that way. So working with our differences rather than against them will help us to see our marriages thrive and we see ourselves becoming all that we were created to become. We don't see things the same way, but that doesn't mean that we need to fight about it. We need to find the strength in our differences. Another difference that is very important for us to look at is that men and women spell intimacy differently. Men spell intimacy as S-E-X, sex. And to the man, sex means a lot. In fact, a man, I had Dr. Miles Monroe saying something so powerful, that a man is a bag of seed. So he wants to release the seed. To him, sex is actually a need, that he needs to release that seed. It's a need for a man. For a woman, she spells it as affection. And see, that's the difference between now men and women. A man is good to go sexual where sex is concerned anytime. A woman is like, you haven't called me, you haven't touched me, you haven't been affectionate in any way, and now you're just good to go. You're really just good to go. So the woman does not take it like the man. And that is another thing that you need to understand is different. A woman needs affection. Listen to me, husbands. A woman needs affection. That means that you start with her from morning. Touch her hand. Kiss her cheek. Her lips, if you may. Touch her. Tell her how beautiful she is. Tell her how you're longing for her. Tell her how she really is everything to you. Show her you're not putting other things before her. She comes last until you get to bed. Show her that she is your number one and that she means a lot to you. Let me tell you, the more you are affectionate to her, you love her, you care about her, you show your affection. Let me tell you, that woman can go to Timbuktu walking. She can. Timbuktu with no shoes, walking, because you have shown her your affection. That way, now when you're set to have sex with her, she's ready. She was actually ready the minute you touched her. Did you know that even playing with children makes a woman attracted to you? Yeah, when you as a husband, you take time to play with the children, to talk to the children, to raise the children, to lift the children, to do homework with the children. Let me tell you, it spells affection, love, care, time, everything that a woman desires. You spell it. Just by allowing yourself to love what she loves, to care about what she cares about, because her children are everything. So when you as a man, you show like you really care about them, let me tell you, that woman is good to go. She's ready for you. And so it's very important for you to understand those differences, because sometimes a man, you've not talked to your wife the entire day, you've not cared about her the entire day, then at night you come and you just want her to turn, and there you are, you're good to go. And she's like, seriously? And then you're getting frustrated and saying she never wants us to make love, she's forever complaining. She's not. She's just feeling left out. Like, how did we get here? How did we even get here in the first place? I needed you to walk me there. Don't rush me there. Walk me there. Get me to that page. And so it's very important for you to understand that difference if you're going to really enjoy your marriage. I tell you the truth. What I'm teaching, hey, I'll buy this DVD myself. Because I'm telling you things that work. I'm telling you things that will change your marriage. I'm telling you things that will alter your relationship for the better. If you can just allow those differences to matter to you, they will matter in that relationship, and your life will never be the same again. If love is to last a lifetime, it must be other-centered. Don't center your love life around yourself. It must be other-centered. Think about your spouse more than you even think about yourself. Marriage is about giving, not getting. Some people just want to take. But marriage is about giving. You must be out there to give to your spouse. And as you give, the word is clear. Give, it shall come back to you. Good measure, pressed down, shaken together and running over. Are you giving your love? Are you giving your care? Are you giving your time? Time, T-I-M-E, critical. Are you giving your time to your marriage? Does your spouse matter to you? Very critical. And the last one we're going to look at is that women can multitask. Men cannot. Selah. When a man enters a box, he is in that box. When a woman is there, she can multitask. She can do 5 things at the same time. A woman will be cooking, doing homework, talking on the phone, and she'll be doing things at the same time all together. And all will be paid attention to. She will take care of all of them together. She's taking care of the child. She's listening to the child. She's watching a show. She will be there multitasking. Men do not multitask. If a man is reading the paper, let him finish. If a man is watching television, let him finish. So he'll just be saying, We'll go to Dubai. You'll buy me that car. You'll what? My friend, he didn't hear. Then you're going to him and saying, I told you, and you even said, I wish I recorded, I should have recorded. He didn't hear, because men do not multitask. So understand, get him at the right time. Speak things at the right time, because then you will not be frustrated. Your woman can multitask. So don't think she's not listening to you just because she's also looking at something else. Hallelujah. Get on this channel, enjoy yourself, and I want you to understand, Rev Kathy Kiuna, there is everything that you desire and then some.